The 2023 season is proving to be extremely interesting from a technical point of view, not necessarily because of any rumors regarding specific solutions adopted by the teams which could reveal the secrets of their respective projects, but more so because of the hypothetical performance of the cars this season. We are referring to the aerodynamic performances, which will be affected by the introduction of the new rules for ride heights as well as increased control of the plank and floor flexibility, along with side ground clearance, which should initially have been lower than 2022. In practice, it was assumed that would result in a loss of downforce load between 12 and 15%, with the teams aiming to recover these values by the start of the second half of the season. The reduced values of downforce, however, would have contributed further to the cancellation of the porpoising. This phenomenon is induced all the more by higher loads produced by the floor which, combined with low ride heights, causes the structure of the underlying flow to break up, triggering the jolts. Aston Martin Deputy Technical Director Eric Blandon has explained why he does not expect porpoising to disappear completely from F1 in 2023. Welcome to Aero F1. Today we will discuss how porpoising can still be an issue to the teams in 2023 season. If you are new to the channel, then press that subscribe button. Following a wave of new technical regulations being introduced into the sport for 2022, several teams on the grid struggled with their cars bouncing during the season, with Mercedes amongst those to be particularly affected. This led to modifications being introduced for the upcoming campaign with the aim of lessening the issue. However, Blandon believes that the problem will remain in some form due to the ground effect nature of the cars. Porpoising inherent within current regulations. It won't disappear completely, Blandon explained in an Aston Martin interview. It's something that's inherent within this set of regulations. You've got big tunnels channeling air underneath a car that is running very close to the ground and effectively has a skirt created by the floor edge that's sealing the air in. This combination is what makes the car susceptible to porpoising. Every F1 car experiences some degree of oscillation. But with the current regulations, due to the aerodynamic load and the variation in that aerodynamic load, this oscillation is more pronounced. Blandon added of his expectations for the 2023 car. We have focused on making changes to this year's car that will prevent porpoising, but we can't guarantee they've worked until we test the car on the track. If we do suffer from porpoising, we've got several tools in our armory to combat it, in a bid to ensure porpoising isn't an issue and the safety of drivers is not at risk. The FIA will make changes to the aero rules for 2023 season. The FIA outlined, in the spirit of consultation. The FIA discussed a range of aerodynamic measures with the teams and taking into account the views of the teams. The FIA has decided to narrow down the actions it intends to take for 2023 to these steps: a 25mm raising of the floor edges, a raising of the underfloor diffuser throat, the introduction of more stringent lateral floor deflection tests, the introduction of a more accurate sensor to help quantify the aerodynamic oscillation. The FIA intends to still introduce several short-term measures at the Belgian Grand Prix, despite porpoising being less of an issue in recent rounds. They expect it to resurface at tracks with bumpier surfaces such as Singapore. For 2022, the FIA reaffirmed, starting from Spa, the following measures: a stiffening of the plank skids, and a clarification on how their wear will be measured. The introduction of a metric, which will quantify the bouncing, which will have to stay below a prescribed value during the races. The F1 teams will be able to use the metric already from the forthcoming race in France, in order to learn its full implications on their car's setup. Formula 1 second switch to ground effect aerodynamics for 2022 saw the return of the porpoising, with almost every team affected to some degree following the introduction of the new regulations last year, with drivers and teams raising serious safety concerns, particularly following the street race in Baku in June, where Pierre Gasly suggested some drivers would end up requiring a walking stick by the age of 30. Steps were taken to reduce the bouncing phenomenon, although it was claimed that some teams, most notably Mercedes, who suffered most severely, were exaggerating the effects of porpoising to force through technical tweaks. FIA Technical Chief Nicolas Tombazis has insisted the governing body's intervention on the issue was necessary. He told that, "We did the right thing without any doubt. We had to find a pragmatic solution for the short term and a better solution for the medium term. The whole thing may not completely eliminate porpoising yet, but it will make the problem much smaller." When pressed how much downforce teams will lose as a result of the changes for 2023, he said, "I don't think that much, maybe 15 to 20 downforce points. That will be equivalent to about half a second per lap. Thanks to the ongoing development, they will recover the vast majority of that half second." Despite the tweaks planned for 2023, Tombazis has admitted it remains to be seen whether they will be enough to completely eradicate porpoising or if the issue will need to be further addressed in the future. Whether we have done enough with this change to stay away from it or whether porpoising will reappear anyway. We don't know that at the moment either, and it will have to be seen during the season. The launch of 2023 cars has been started, but the porpoising can still be an issue. We will be fully cleared about the issue when cars will run on track during pre-season testing in Bahrain on 23rd to the 25th of February. But the porpoising may scare many teams and fans. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and subscribe to our channel for more such content. I will meet you in the next video. Thanks for watching.